Welcome back to the afternoon session of this conference. And we're going to get started right away. Our first speaker is Quincy Jones, who not only is a comedian, but he also is a mesothelioma warrior. And I want to welcome Quincy. And I'll let him further introduce himself.
Hello, how's everybody doing? Food was good? Everyone ready for a nap? Yes. Sweet, I got the best spot right here. There we go. My name is Quincy Jones. A lot of you guys may know me, a lot of you guys may not. I'm a comedian. I was diagnosed with peritoneal mesothelioma in 2015. I kept having my stomach fill up with fluid, and I didn't know what it was, and they said, oh, you might have some rare disease, and they finally did it, and after 6 months of getting like 5 to 7 liters drained off every month, they finally did a biopsy in June, and July 3rd, 2015, I was in Morristown. I booked a tour of the East Coast, and it ended up being a tour of hospitals, and that's when they diagnosed me with peritoneal mesothelioma. And I admit I was a little relieved, because I'd finally known what it was. You know, now I had some type of, what I didn't know was how messed up the healthcare system was, or even what a cancer doctor was called. So that was the first thing I had to do. I had to Google that. I flew back to LA, and I went to the hospital, and I got admitted to LA County, and I was there for 45 days. I got out for 4 hours. I went to another, I didn't feel well. I went to a different hospital, and I got admitted for another 5 days because I had a blood clot in my heart, because I had been in there. So 50 days later, I get out the hospital and I start rebuilding and I go back home and I start learning how to get acclimated into society again. A couple months later, while I was in the hospital, one of the oncologists had said, hey, you have a year to live. On average, you know, someone with your condition lives, you know. I was like, well, what's the study that you're citing? He's like, I'll come back in the morning. I was like, you can't just tell someone they have a year to live and then tell them to sleep on it. That's not how you do. So I start Googling everything. I had a little tab, like Google everything. I was like, oh, this study was performed in 2000. The average person was 65 to 75 years old. Okay, well, I think I can beat this. So that was automatically the first seed that was planted in my head. I went forth and I started to fight. I did chemo. I did about 12 aggressive sessions of cisplatin and Alimta. And then they put me down to maintenance chemo, which is just Alimta, which I still do to this day. Fast forward, I get out, and I'm having coffee with my friend in Silver Lake, okay? And we're having coffee, and she's like, well, what do you want to do? I was like, I just want to do comedy. That's all I've done, you know? It's all I've got fired from every other job I tried, you know what I'm saying? So I might as well try and do that. So we put together a Kickstarter, and the Kickstarter goes viral, and you don't realize the power of the internet until something goes viral for you, you know? And then everyone reaches out to you. I was in GQ, I was on Ellen, and I got an HBO special. In the midst of that, I was in the midst of a whirlwind. I had to tape an HBO Hours, you know, comedy special in like 2 weeks, and then I meet Linda. She just pops out of nowhere. She just comes to you guys know Linda. She just pops out of nowhere. And she was just and Linda has a way of casually dropping heavy statements, you know what I'm saying? And you'll be like, what? Really? Okay. And she's like, what do you know about your disease? I was like, oh, you know, I don't know where I got it. I don't know where I got the asbestos because no one I knew worked in like the shipyards or a mechanic shop or something like that. I was like, but I know that they discontinued using asbestos. She's like, oh, no. They haven't discontinued. They just lowered it from like 800,000 to 2,000. You know, tons a year. I was like, what? And then she just walked off into the night, and that was it. She's like, but you know, I'll make you turkey meatloaf. I was like, what? No, that's not, don't leave me like this, please. But she'd reached out, and she came to the show, and that's how I met Linda. And fast forward even more so, the Kickstarter went viral, and I got on Ellen. I did the HBO special, and then we put it out on my birthday in June, and from all the publicity, I was able to get the HIPEC surgery, which coincidentally enough, they'd said a year earlier I wasn't able to get. So I was like, oh, that's blessings. You know, I'm really happy with that. And I got the surgery, and I remember just thinking like it, because the way surgeons talk to you is they're real casual. They make everything seem nonchalant. They're like, oh yeah, we're just gonna cut you open, and then we'll debulk the tumors, put a little chemo in there, shake it up, stitch you up, you'll be out of here in a week. I was like, okay, cool. Seems pretty nonchalant, let's do it. And you wake up, you're like, why do I have an epidural in my back? What did you do to me? They're like, oh, we took out your spleen, we took out your omentum, we took out half your abdomen wall, so I'll never have a six-pack again. I never had one in the first place, but I had dreams. I had dreams, okay? That was the thing about that. I got the surgery, and things were looking good, okay? The special came out on my birthday. I had a great summer. I got to go to the Moonshot Summit, and I got to meet Joe Biden. He was really cool. I got to meet Obama later on. He was really cool. And I'm thinking, wow, this is crazy. All this just because I chose to fight. And a lot of times we're out there, and like, this is not a glory-seeking job. This is not a cool conference that you brag to your friends about. And most of the people can't pronounce mesothelioma, and most people don't know what asbestos really is. But I want to say thank you for everyone out there, from the volunteers to the doctors to everyone. I don't even know only Linda knows all the moving parts of this operation. But I do want to say thank you, because it's people like you that give me inspiration to fight. Because there's weeks where I'm like, I don't want to do chemo anymore. I'm good. Like I'll play craps with the future, and then my mom will tell me no. And she'll make me go. She actually came down a couple weeks ago just to make sure I went. And that's sort of like what Linda's been. Linda's been like that. Linda will hound you, and she will constantly love you. She will love you even when you're like, I'm good. She's like, nope, just sending another email. Just want to go ahead, follow up, and see how you're doing. And I got turkey meatloaf. Come on through. And I just want to say thank you, Linda, for all you do, and thank all you guys for everything. Appreciate it.